Israel, Turkey, US. Did we start to implement the concept of Greater Israel? Machiavellian perspectives on US-Turkey relations. Machiavellian political thought often emphasizes the pursuit of power, pragmatism, and realpolitik. In this essay, we will adopt a Machiavellian perspective to analyze the assertion that a war between the United States and Turkey is imminent, emphasizing the interests, strategies, and calculations of the involved actors. Power and mistakes. Machiavelli's writings underscored the importance of avoiding mistakes that may jeopardize power. The claim that President Biden is making a huge mistake by positioning two carriers in a geopolitically sensitive area suggests a significant miscalculation. From a Machiavellian viewpoint, such errors could be exploited by adversaries for their advantage. National interest and grand plans. The assertion that the U.S. wants a war with Turkey for a grand plan highlights the concept of national interest. Machiavelli contends that states must act in their own interests, often in competition with other states. While the idea of the U.S. seeking war may be an overstatement, it is plausible that states pursue strategic goals in line with their interests, sometimes leading to conflicts. Power struggles and provocations. Machiavelli acknowledges the existence of power struggles and provocations in international relations. The claim that the real war will start when Turkish naval forces are attacked raises the question of provocation. States often engage in calculated provocations to test their adversaries or gain advantages, reflecting a Machiavellian understanding of the international stage. Geopolitical interests. Machiavelli's realpolitik emphasizes the importance of territorial and resource interests. The assertion that the U.S.-Turkey conflict revolves around oil, gas, and strategic positioning aligns with this perspective. However, the assertion that Israel is seeking to occupy more land in Turkey is speculative and would require more concrete evidence. Nuclear weapons and deterrence. The prediction of a major war escalating to the use of tactical nuclear missiles involves the concept of deterrence, a key element in Machiavellian politics. The possession and potential use of such weapons can serve as a means to maintain power and influence. However, it is crucial to emphasize that the use of nuclear weapons would have catastrophic consequences, which rational actors aim to avoid. Geopolitical maneuvering. The statement suggests that the U.S.'s deployment of carriers is not for peace, but rather part of a larger geopolitical maneuver. Machiavelli's teachings highlight the significance of strategic calculations and hidden agendas in international relations. Conflicts as opportunities. The assertion that the conflict between Israel and Hamas was a setup for a larger war underlines the Machiavellian principle of seizing opportunities from conflicts. States may exploit existing situations to further their interests. In conclusion, in a Machiavellian perspective, international relations are marked by the pursuit of power, strategic calculations, and the use of any means necessary to secure and expand that power. While the claim of an imminent war between the U.S. and Turkey may be exaggerated, it is essential to acknowledge that states act in their interests and utilize calculated actions to achieve their goals. The realpolitik lens allows us to consider the complex and often secretive nature of international politics, where nations engage in intricate maneuvering to secure their positions on the global stage. The concept of a Greater Israel is a term that has been used in various contexts to describe different territorial ambitions or interpretations, but it is essential to distinguish between historical realities and these concepts. Historical Israel. In historical terms, Greater Israel generally refers to the historical territories that the ancient Israelites inhabited, as described in the Hebrew Bible. This territory includes modern-day Israel, the West Bank, and parts of Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. The historical existence of Israel is supported by archaeological and historical evidence, and it has played a significant role in the history of the region. Modern political usage. The term Greater Israel has been used in the context of political and territorial aspirations, particularly by some far-right political and religious groups in Israel. These groups advocate for the expansion of Israel's borders to encompass areas mentioned in the Bible. It's essential to recognize that this concept does not reflect the official stance of the Israeli government, and it has been a subject of controversy both within Israel and internationally. International relations. In international relations, the idea of a Greater Israel is often used rhetorically to criticize or scrutinize Israeli policies, such as the construction of settlements in the West Bank. Critics argue that these actions may contribute to de facto territorial expansion. Realities on the ground: the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, territorial disputes, and complex geopolitics in the Middle East have made achieving a lasting peace agreement challenging. The concept of a Greater Israel is often a contentious issue in these negotiations, as it raises questions about the rights and claims of Palestinians living in the disputed territories. In conclusion, the concept of a Greater Israel has historical and contemporary dimensions, but it is important to differentiate between historical facts and political or ideological interpretations. The modern geopolitical realities in the Middle East involve complex issues, and addressing them requires understanding the historical context, legal frameworks, and the interests of the parties involved. The concept of Greater Israel does not have a universally agreed upon map or fixed borders, as it is a highly controversial and divisive idea rooted in religious and ideological beliefs rather than international agreements or recognized boundaries. The specific map associated with the concept can vary depending on the proponents and their interpretations of historical and religious texts. In general, proponents of the Greater Israel concept may envision a territorial expansion beyond Israel's internationally recognized borders, often including the following territories. The West Bank. This territory, captured by Israel during the Six-Day War in 1967, is a major focal point of the Greater Israel concept. Some proponents advocate for Israel's annexation of the entire West Bank, while others support annexing specific areas. Gaza Strip. Some proponents argue for Israel's control or annexation of the Gaza Strip, which has been under Hamas control since 2007. Parts of Jordan. Certain interpretations include parts of Jordan, such as the historical regions of Transjordan, as part of Greater Israel. Parts of Syria and Lebanon. In some extreme interpretations, Greater Israel may encompass areas in Syria and Lebanon based on historical or religious claims. It's important to emphasize that the concept of Greater Israel is not the official policy of the Israeli government, and it is highly contentious, both within Israeli society and on the international stage. The internationally recognized borders of the State of Israel are based on pre-1967 boundaries, and discussions related to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and potential territorial changes are conducted through negotiations and diplomatic efforts. The concept of Greater Israel remains a topic of ideological and political debate among specific religious and political groups in Israel but does not reflect the official position of the Israeli government.